And welcome everybody to a playthrough guide for Resident Evil Code Veronica X. Now you're probably all looking at the title screen and going, that says Biohazard Code Veronica. Well, that's because I'm playing the Dreamcast version, which is Biohazard Code Veronica Kanzenban, exclusive to Japan. However, all the tricks that you can use in this playthrough work on the PlayStation 2 and GameCube OG Code Veronica X releases, the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 remaster widescreen, different lighting version, and the PS4 port as well. So if you're wanting to get the S rank for Code Veronica Kanzenban or the A rank for the NTSC and PAL original of Code Veronica X, this video guide is to give you all an idea how it's going to work. So there are a few things I want to lay in place before we get started. The first of which, we have a time limit of 4.5 hours to my knowledge, which is quite a short time given the length of the game. We cannot use first aid sprays. That's completely nixed. We have only one opportunity to save our game outside of save states, and that is a save that is technically not a save between discs, and that is also in all the later ports as well. So it's not just exclusive to the Dreamcast variation. And you must also, there's one character we need to save very quickly in a puzzle very early, and another character we need to give a specific item to. Failure to do all of that means we will not get it. So, one of the ways we can do it is to get the game started. So, first of all, press the right button. And we're going to play this on normal. As you can see, Kanzenban has the option for easy and very easy. That's not available outside of this version of the game.
Biohazard.
Instead of Resident Evil. Now, the good thing about this game is you can skip a lot of the in-game content by simply pressing the start button. As you can see, we're already in the prison. We equip the lighter, we're skipping that scene. First thing we're going to do is grab the knife, and that's literally the only other item we're going to grab at this time. The lighter, not only can you use it as an item, you can also equip it as we have here. We don't really need it at the moment, so we can turn this off. The knife, interestingly enough, is worth equipping. It's actually a good weapon. But for now, we're going to start this with the first big tip I've got for you all. For those of you who don't know this, the game has a bug, which, apart from the original Code Veronica game released on the Dreamcast, allows you to create an infinite healing item. We're going to be doing that. It does not affect the game in terms of rank. So we skip the scene, and we find ourselves up against zombies. Little tip, if you're quick when they grab you, you can actually push them off with no damage. That's a really top tip. So we skip the cutscene here. We now got the pistol equipped. Don't unequip that pistol, whatever you do. Keep that pistol equipped. And we're going to start by getting ourselves access to the infinite health item. We're going to do this in 3 stages. So the first stage is we're going to go along here, where there is a herb. We'll grab that. Do a quick turn. Press down and the action button. So that's the A or X button, depending on which version of the game you're playing. And enter this room. We're now going to go up the stairs. Try and run by this guy. If you get damaged, you get damaged. Doesn't really matter. And we want to get the second one. This is actually the most challenging part at this point. Getting back to the prison without being killed, basically. Manage that, and it's all easy. So we're going to return back to the prison cell we got out of. Yeah, unfortunately, some cutscenes like this one you can't skip. That does slow you down, that does affect your time. However, main thing now is to go through this door, and we're back into the courtyard. Now, all the zombies in the graveyard respawn, so there's no point fighting them. Don't waste your time. It's not worth it. Well, as you can see there, because I was quick on the push, I was able on the buttons, I took no damage. Sometimes you get lucky and they'll miss you, like that. Don't do the mistake I nearly made there of stopping and getting bit. Make sure you profit from that mistake. So this is where we're going to set the glitch up in just a moment. But the first thing we need to do is get back into the jail cell where there is another herb. So what we need to do is make sure that we are combining the item so that it's next to the pistol. That's what we want. Now the game baits you to use this item here. Don't. Instead, go up, scroll across to the top where you've got files, and then access it from here. Let's take no chances by skipping all the way to the end. Exit. And as you can see, I now have equipped, right up here, the herb. It's equipped like a weapon. So if I back out, you'll see Claire is still holding a gun. Fire it once, and now press again. You can hear there is no damn ammo in there. We quickly re-equip any other weapon. We can now use this as much as we like. It never runs out. That is a critical way of dealing with anything. Now you see I've gone for the knife here. I'm going to see if I can find a place suitable to show you where you can find use for the knife. Because this was the first game that made the knife actually a weapon you could feasibly utilize. What we want to do now is go back the way we came and into the prison doors again. Because there's something else we want to pick up there. Yeah, we managed to avoid him, which is awesome. And as you see, shoved off, no damage taken. That's a great way to conserve ammo, but you've got to start spamming the buttons as quick as possible. If you don't do it quickly, you will take damage. Now with the infinite herb, you're probably thinking, why do you care? Well, quite frankly, if you can push them off, it's less time going into the menu, it's less time wasted on the clock. In here, what we realistically want are a couple of pieces of ammo and a critical weapon. Unfortunately, he's taken me out. Now you can see hitting the wall stops the knife attack. But did you notice how when I used the knife, then it had a kind of sound? That's because the knife often does multiple hits. That's where you can do some serious damage with this weapon. Because this game is famous for being one where you run out of ammo. So here we go. That triggers this cutscene. You can't do anything about it. He's going to come at you. And if you hit down little legs and chop them down, you can stop the enemies and get them dead. Unfortunately, if you hit the wall, you get stuck. And this is where we're going to take the damage. It's okay, because we've got the infinite healing herb. Don't let the music put you off. We want these guns, the M100P. The reason we want them is there's one particular enemy later on in the game who, for whatever reason, is weak to it. So I was just making a slight adjustment to the game's audio there, so hopefully it's not too loud now. So at this point we're going as fast as we can to motor our way forwards. If you can get a slice in when they're vertical and then hit them afterwards, you can actually chop them down with the knife. And there you go. Those enemies are now taken out. This next part's interesting because there is a feature we can use to our advantage.
Please deposit any metallic items you have in the security box.
Basically, we have an airport style, you must deposit all metal items here. Now, interestingly, if you go through there without it, you set the alarm off and have the shutters come down and you have to reset it. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take advantage of that. Skip the scene with Steve. No one wants to listen to him. Open the straw. And that gets us the Eagle Medal, which we are going to need to get out. However, because it's made of metal, we can't take it out of the prison just yet. There's one more link in the chain for us. That switch I've just pulled is needed because that will allow us to get out of the area.
Items you have in the security box.
So as you can see, deliberately drop the shutters. Because if you don't do that, eventually that hallway becomes flooded with zombies. And you have to run past them with no weaponry, no way to defend yourself. However, by doing it that way, you actually avoid that problem. So now we want to equip the pistol here. Oh. There we go. It's okay if you get the wrong item, you get the wrong button press. It's not going to kill your run. We hit this switch, which was locked off. And we now get 2 zombies and a bunch of others. Take advantage of moving them together. And this is where the RNG has gone badly against me, because she's not shooting the canister. There we go. That makes things a bit easier now. And with that, we can pick up the fire extinguisher. We want that, because the fire extinguisher is going to come in handy in a moment. Come in here, pick up this key from the guillotine. It's optional to do this, however, you can make a little shortcut with it. And you do have to come through this area multiple times, so it is to your advantage. Yeah, and there's the classic jump scare of the dogs coming out of nowhere. Best way to deal with this is do a couple of minor zigzags, nothing serious, just to get a little bit of confused movement. The key we just picked up opens that there, and we can discard the key quite easily. But then we're going to go through this door. Now we've got zombies here to worry about, as well as in the graveyard. So from this part forward, the game's going to ramp up a bit. But we do have the infinite healing item. That's our little bit of armor. So if we are unlucky enough to take a tank hit like that, we tank it, move on. Oh, he's in my way. That's annoying. Yeah, take him down. Now be careful not to get burned. I've just proven that. And then the fire extinguisher. Whatever you do, be very careful with the fire extinguisher you have. It's empty. You don't want to leave it behind. There's a chance we can get a very special item later, but you can only get it if you do not put it back. So, with that in mind, we got like that. Run past him. Quick tanking of a blow. There's not much more we can do about it. And then we're through here. Because what we just picked up in that briefcase was an alloy called the TG01. It's an alloy which replicates with the same tensile strength as metal, but it is not metal. Therefore, because of that, we are able to create items that can go through security scanners. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So we cleared this area out, which makes it a little bit easier to navigate.
Please deposit any metallic items you have in the security box.
So as per usual, we put all these away. But we don't need to put the TG01 because it's not metal. Now, earlier on, we put the Eagle medal in here. We can grab that. And then we deliberately set off the alarm. So there we are. Quick in-game time there for us. We're going to place the item in the security. Unfortunately, we can't skip this. We have to let it carry on, let it play out. So now the 3D printer is ready for us. We can deposit this. And check this out. That was Capcom's idea of a 3D printer in 2000. Way before they really became a thing. How awesome is that? So there's a duplication. And we now have a non-metallic version of that item. So all we need to do now is quickly deactivate the alarm here. And because we've done that, the zombies will not get through at this moment in time. That makes our life a lot easier. That makes things much simpler for us. And with that, we've also managed to recover the actual fire extinguisher. We've actually covered that. We want to keep that in the item box for much later in the game. So I say, it's up to you if you equip the pistol or the knife. I try to save as much ammo as I can, but you do have the option to pick off the enemies with the gun. There's no issue with doing that. So we want to quickly go into this room here, and we're aiming to go to the right side, bearing in mind it's tank controls. Now we've got to be careful of the zombies here, otherwise that can happen. You can split those zombies and get by them with no damage and no shots. So it's worth bearing that in mind, because we are going to be coming back here later in the game. But right now, what we're going to do is we are going to head off after this next point. Because of that Jeep there, we can't cross this highway, so we've got to go on the bridge. There are some pistol rounds in the Jeep. It's up to you if you collect them. You don't have to. I find that they're not essential, but you can always leave them there as a top-up for later in the game. So the classic box pushing is back, and then we go up the stairs. Now we are going to quickly switch to the pistol in a moment, because we are going to find ourselves up against some dogs, and we do want to be in a position where we can take them down quickly. But before we do that, we've got zombies to navigate. They're quite easy. If you do get grabbed here, you can get a nice little Easter egg where you throw them over the railing. But if you do get by them like that, you're able to slip through. Now, here come the dogs. You can wait for them to appear on screen slightly. You can argue that that's cruelty, but as far as I'm concerned, it's not. Take them out quickly. Grab this proof. It's called the Navy proof. It's one of 3 shields we need to leave the island. For now, we're not going to worry too much about it. Now, even though we've got the infinite healing herb, we are going to want to create some healing at certain points. And the reason for that is that there is a point where we need to very briefly go and control other people. and we won't be able to transfer the infinite healing herb without an item box. And there is a key point where we don't have that functionality. So we want to make sure we have some healing in the bank. But for now, this music here, savor this music, because this is your safe room music. If you hear this music, you are in a safe area. You are absolutely free of danger. So make sure you savor it when you hear it. Grab this healing herb, might as well use it while we can. Now the game is meant to encourage you to push that box aside there, and there is a card key underneath which gives you a passcode. But the passcode never changes. So as long as you know the passcode, you don't need to actually access it. So we go into here. So it says security lock is active. Enter an employee ID to open it up. The employee ID is November Charlie Chango Charlie 0394. November Tango Charlie 0394. And there you go. Verification ID has been confirmed and the door lock is active. Simple as that. We are now free to carry on. Now, neat little feature of the lighter. If you pick Equip, if you go into this room, there are bats that swarm and attack you. Unless you have the lighter equipped. If you have the lighter equipped, they leave you alone. There are a few areas of the game where that can come in real handy. While they don't do any real damage to you, they do slow you down, and that's something you don't want, ideally. In this next area, it's up to you if you want to take out the zombies or if you want to leave some of them alive. If you can take a couple out, it does make things easier for navigation. So this one here, we've got the knife. By slashing when he stood up and then slashing down, we're able to take him down quickly. That time, unfortunately, we didn't get the contact we wanted with the knife. But that time we did. So if you slash the chest once, and then afterwards slash the legs, they will drop down. There is one zombie left here now, but it's not that big a deal. Let's make the healing hit. Ignore the zombie. We're not interested. Get stuck on the wall because I'm not paying attention. Pick up some extra ammo. Always worth it. Now start smashing start button because we don't want to see this next cutscene. 1, it's creepy. 2, it's slow. In this room, pay no attention to anything but the ship's wheel. That's the thing we want most. And then we're straight out. That was the sound of Steve activating a trap. And we've got to save him quickly. Otherwise, we lose points for our grading. By clearing out the zombies here, it's made it much faster for us. So it's taken a little time there, but saved a little time potentially. So we need to get the pairs together. So what we want is C for the pistol, E for the magnum, and done. Basically, there are 2 pairs of guns on the walls. So you got a pair of pistols and a pair of revolvers. That's the clue to the puzzle. CE, and off you go. Rememberable for most people because CE is Certificate of Europe for a safety feature here in the UK. Yep, so that was introducing an antagonist. We can skip that. And now what we're going to do is head deeper down into the next part. going to appear off to the right here and down the stairs for the first time. This will take us to a dock area. And the docks is where we need the ship's wheel. And this cutscene we cannot skip. So we drop down here, and off we go. And crucially, we want this. That gives us an extra 2 slots on our inventory. We want that, because that allows us to carry more items. Especially with this game featuring quite a lot of guns, which need 2 slots. So the more slots we have, the easier it's going to be. Very unusual camera angle there, where we're inside the fish tank. It's actually quite nice to see. We want to dodge as many of these zombies as we can. Duck behind you. We can go over to the plane if we want to move a platform forward, but it isn't necessary right now. We can go there later. Now we're about to do a very basic puzzle which calls back to the video game Breath of Fire 3 in my headcanon, and I'll explain more in a moment. So we've got the elevator here to the right, and essentially what we're looking to do is we're looking to move this container using the crane claw. And that crane claw is exactly the same one that you find on the black ship in Breath of Fire 3, a game made by Capcom. I'd like to believe that's them making their own solution, but literally with that you just go as far forward as you can, up by pressing up, and then left until the shadow is balanced over the crate, and it will automatically lift it up for you. What that therefore does is clear us the ability to summon this elevator. Oh, and surprise, we've got zombies waiting for us. But don't worry, don't panic here, simply back towards the wall, and then run behind them. Quickly go here, because we want to grab the biohazard keycard, do a quick turn, and then back around them. And that's it. We're out of there with not a single shot fired, no damage taken, no time lost. What that's now going to allow us to do is progress to the next part of the game. Yeah, run past you. Back the way we came up here. Once again, taking this unusual camera angle, where we're outside in the water tank. I like the fact you could see the submarine in the dock there, that's pretty awesome. And this is probably the most unusual transit system internally I've ever seen, where you have to use a submarine to get across there. Do a quick spin and then up. What we're going to do now is we're going to head back towards the prison, but we're not going to the prison. Instead, we're going to veer left into that other area we haven't explored. All will become clear in just a moment. So we turn around. The quick turn is a massive, massive boost in this game. Being able to turn around fast without having to mess about is brilliant. So what we do now, get down here. And down the stairs. We'll left, and if you push him off, now watch this. Hey, see you later. Again, that's one of the first in the series where it had, like, interactive scenery kills. It's not the only one. Oh, God. That's not a good run. I've taken loads of damage there. This next enemy we don't have to fight, so we're not going to. It's known as the Gulp Worm. It appears out of the ground and tries to devour you. There is an easy way to get rid of it, but there's not much point right now. It's pointless here. You can dodge him every time. So we go into the doors, up the stairs. Ignore this one on the right. We can't do anything with it at the moment. We want to go into this door here. So this takes us into a nice little lab area where we can get the crossbow. On its own, this weapon is absolute rubbish. It's terrible. But we're not interested in doing it on its own. We're going to do something else with it. Now, we have a cutscene that normally plays out there where a scientist meets their end. We're skipping that. And then what we're going to do now is go here. Which triggers another scene where Claire has to get away fast. Well, she's done it. This is optional. You don't have to go through it if you don't want to, but I find it useful because we get a useful item, which is the explosive arrows. Worth taking him out because he's hard to dodge. But you can see we managed to run past all those. They didn't turn around quick enough. That's possibly RNG based. If you do take damage there, just use the infinite heal. That's what it's there for. The reason we've got the infinite heal is if you need to heal, you heal. Get into the pool, and then this little valve handle, turn it. But for whatever reason, that stops the fountain. And you can see there's a key flashing in the floor there. That's the reason we want, that's the weapon box key. Now you sometimes get lucky where they are both at the base level, but it's not always guaranteed. If that happens, just gotta take the blow and get on with it. No point kicking off. So get up the stairs. You can see I've actually gone into caution status. Infinite healing, herb, go burr. Without the infinite healing herb, this game can be a lot harder. You could argue I'm trivializing the game. To which I say, embrace the cheese, people. Eat the brie. Hoover down the gorgonzola. Grate the feta. Gorge on the mozzarella. Suck up all the cheese you can. Because you're going to need it. Now go into this room here. Because this is where we can use the key with the tag. Ignore the zombie to the left there on the ground. You don't want to get involved in it if you can possibly avoid it. This one, it's up to you if you kill it. I've started, so I'll finish. Again, sometimes you get unlucky where you're trying to aim down and you don't aim quick enough. That's just, again, the way it goes. I love the fact that you can have the interactivity of the knife where you hit the walls and it stops the attack. While it's annoying, it's also really immersive and adds a bit of a horror vibe to it. You start panicking. And you're like, oh my god, no, no, please, 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 don't hurt me, don't hurt me. And then you get gobbed, it's like, Aah. And they're all over you. Grab these bow and arrows here. And then what we can do rather helpfully is combine them, just like that. We're going to hold on to the bowgun because there's one area we're going to use that in just a moment. Well, the first thing we want to do is head to the right from this room here. That uses the silver card key, but we're not in a position yet to use that card up, so don't worry about that. That's part of the reason why it locks behind us. Now, at this point, we are going to be very briefly stalked, but it's easy to get away. Just get the cutscene, run close to the wall, and then on your stairs. Somehow he managed to miss me with both a laser scope and a actual sniper scope. Somehow he missed me. Because he's a terrible shot, I guess. Might as well equip the bowgun now, because we are going to need it in a second. But you can see there's a couple of sets of pistol ammo here. Do grab these. We want both of those. And once again, you're back in the safe room. That wonderful sound of the safe room. This medicine here is the hemostatic medicine. We need that for Rodrigo. The guy in the prison who's not very well, we need to give him health. So store the red and green herb, we no longer need it. You can store the case as well, and we can actually store that, to be honest, along with the bowgun bolts. We want to create as much room as we can. Meanwhile, there are a couple of herbs here. It's worth picking them up and then storing them. Giving ourselves plenty of options for healing later in the game. Because as much as I love the infinite healing herb, we are going to control more than one character, and therefore we're going to need more than one supply of health. So through the door, and this time we'll go to the right. That will trigger a cutscene that we skip. So hit the skip button and off you go. Run forward, and in here. Boom. Yes. Feel the sound of our own heartbeat there, people. Now we want to pick up the submachine guns. The Mac 10s. And there is ammo down there, even though there's only one clip. And now we get introduced to the Bandersnatch. All we want to do is hit it with the explosive rounds. The explosive rounds are the best way to deal with them, the enemy, but the explosive rounds are quite rare, so we don't want to do it too often. You can also, if you want to feel brave, run up and use the knife, because believe it or not, that works well. So that was a cutscene that was going to introduce Steve, but again, we're skipping as much story as we can. And speaking of Steve, we're now going to control him for a very short period. So just slow everything down. Now it's worth doing this because there are points later on where we're going to come back in these areas, and quite frankly, we don't want to have too many enemies to deal with. Yes, this was the game that introduced dual wielding for Resident Evil. It was this game that did it first. There is another zombie back there, I just heard it, but it's too late now, we'll deal with that later. You don't have to worry about his ammo either. Of course, if you do play as Steve, you can go back through the door to the elevator for some funny sequences with Claire. But there we go. We're now caught up to Steve. We'll go back in control of Claire, and that gives us access to the elevator. I like the fact that you see them with the camera following the elevator in this game, where it's fully 3D rather than flat interaction. What we want to do now is go down and to the left, same direction as Steve. And that brings another cutscene that we're going to skip, because we can. And that's another cutscene we can skip as well. We don't want either of those, it's a waste of our time. So now what we want to do as Claire is we want to get access to the upper area. Unlocking this will allow us to get access to a very useful item in here. Go through this door. And we want this emblem crest. Because with that emblem crest, you see Claire has now got the gold Lugers. In the cutscene we skipped, she swapped the submachine guns with Steve for those guns. Because we are going to need them to progress, but not in the way you'd expect. So we'll leave Steve alone, leave him to his morning. Who can blame him? And this gets us into another area where we want to ignore the dogs here, just unlock and run. Don't mess around. Don't waste your time. Don't do anything silly. Just get on with it. Now this is where we'll have the Gulp Worm come out to attack us. We can just ignore it. Yeah, whatever, mate. Go back into this room where we have the telephones. And what we'll do now is we will actually use the card key here. Now, we are going to have to go back to the area where we were shot at. Instead of being shot at, there are going to be dogs. You saw me use the dogs and take them out earlier. These ones are much easier to avoid, so I advocate just running away from them. It's up to you. You don't have to. Before we use the emblem, we're going to quickly go back in here. We want to use the silver card key one time, because it will mean we can then dispose of it. It also means we can get back to the safe room for any key items we want to recover. Again, it's totally optional this. You can save some time by not doing it if you want to go on an ultra speed run. Personally, I advocate getting yourself as much backup as you can. For now, I'm going to store the explosive bowgun. I don't want to risk overusing that weapon. I'm not going to rely on it yet. And so now what we're going to do is go back this way. And at the top of the stairs here, overlooking the actual courtyard, there is a box. You can see a little indentation. We want to use the emblem here. And that gets us access to the blue emblem key card. We want that because we're now going to do something to progress the game's story quite quickly. So we're going to run this way, keep zigzagging, and then through the doors. The dogs, if you zigzag, it makes it harder for them to track you. They also have an annoying habit of grabbing your arm and dragging you backwards, which slows you down. It's infuriating. You just got to deal with it. Now, in the meantime, I just realised I made a bit of a mistake here. But never mind. No big deal. It's not game breaking. Be careful with the Gulp Worm. It can actually jump up and swallow you whole if you're not careful. So watch for the disturbances in the ground and stay away from them. As long as you do that, you'll be relatively safe. Steve is now gone. He's gone about doing his business. And what we want to do here is not go back to exactly the same place before. We want to go right past this zombie into the elevator. Two reasons we want to come here. First one is we're going to go down to B1. But by going down to B1, we can do a couple of things. First of all, there's some hidden ammo in that face there. That's the first thing. The second thing we're going to do is go across the gaseous room here. And with this, we are now going to be able to get access to here. By using the blue emblem card. And that gets us access to the grenade launcher. Now, I said before I made a mistake. I realised I didn't have enough room, so I'm going to waste that healing item on purpose. Because it allows me to get more shots in the grenade launcher. We're going to need them later. It's critical we get them as best as we can. There's a couple of enemies we want to save those for, but being prepared is always good. With that in mind, we'll now go back to the elevator this way. And this time we're going to go up to the second floor. Fantastic camera angle shot, but it doesn't really achieve anything. You don't have to collect these, but if you go to the top of these stairs here, you can find some grenade ammo right down there. Worth picking up, just so you've got it. No, that means to use. Okay. Now what we want to do is go over here, interact with the TV, and that gets us the second of these proofs already. We also want to activate the camera. We now have control. Simply aim to the right, get your crosshair over the pirate, and then press the action button. And if you note, the code 1126, and then it says the gas has finished pumping. Even if you know that code, you cannot put it in without actually going through this process. The game will simply not let you. But luckily, we come right out here, which is going to allow us to be able to get down here. Now, what we want is to run by the dogs. I was just quickly checking what was in our inventory, and we are going to be okay, because the silver keycard is going to leave our inventory in a moment. This is where you've got to be careful, though, because it's easy to get an inadvertent game over here because of load times, and I'll explain more in a moment. So we got rid of the keycard. We'll go back up the stairs. And this is the room where the scientist was killed off camera. There's 1, 1, 2, 6. So we can't run past the guard there, unfortunately. But we're now going to steal a painting.
Contamination detected.
Yep.
Level 3. Emergency shutters will close. All personnel evacuate.
Can't skip the scene, just gotta go on with it. Now, there's nothing you can do here, you gotta run. Because that timer is ticking. And as you can see, it even ticks during the door transitions. The timer does not stop. So whatever you do not get trapped here. Once you're on these stairs, she'll move like a slug. We'll get through every time. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go up here. And I've gone the wrong way because I'm an idiot. I've gone to the wrong door there. What you need to do is actually go back into the area where before the control room and get back into the elevator to the first floor. Again, if you can dodge the enemies, you can cut down the time. You have the option to take them out. You will have enough time to do it if you do. It's not one of those games where you have to dodge literally everything to have enough time. But if you can dodge them, it just makes your life a little bit simpler. So once again, we're through here. And we're going to put the painting up on the wall. how that triggers that to drop down and gives us access to the golden key. With that, we're now going to be in a better position to progress forward. What we want to do is go back up to the top floor again. Tanks the damage below there, there's not much you can do about it. That time, managed to press quick enough and shoved him off with no damage. So you can run at the zombies, get grabbed and shove them off. That is a strategy. If you master it, you can save a lot of time and you can save a lot of ammo. Go through the door. And now what we want to do is go back out this way so we can get back towards the mansion. Because that's where we need to go now. We need to go back to the mansion where we were saving Steve from the gas room. So once again, we'll come out this way. We're going to go to the right. The zombies have all disappeared because the Bandersnatchers have come out to play. Not worth fighting them. It's a waste of time. A waste of time, a waste of resources. Now what we can do here is actually get ourselves ahead of the curve a little bit by getting the gold key room out of the way. Now this is where it's quite an annoying ascension puzzle, ascendancy of the Veronica family. But that's what we have to do. So we go to this one here, to the man with the plate. Then we go here to the man with the paper. Then we go here to the candlestick. And then finally up to the top where there's a scroll we're going to skip past. And then we're going to hit the button. And it turns around. Basically, we're going from Veronica down to Alexia. That gets access to this. And what we can do is very quickly check in there for a nice little scarab that we need. We run up the stairs, run past him, and now what we're going to do is take after the next part. Cut to the left here quickly, so we can avoid that zombie. Put the inside wall there, and get up the stairs. This zombie here you can dodge if you're careful by running back on the landing there and turning back on yourself 180. You don't have to do it that way, but you can. For now, we might as well store this jewel because we don't yet need it. We can't use it just yet. So that's kind of out of the way. What we'll do now is we will then quickly go here. The doors, as you can see, go to use. They slot in and they open this for us. So now what we're going to do is quickly get this pistol ammo here. And then there's meant to be a puzzle to solve the ascendancy to figure this out here. We're not going to bother with that. We're going to quickly activate this. Skip the creepy FMV. We don't want to watch that. And now we're going to be given a chance to put in a password prompt. The password is very easy. So when it comes in, we're simply putting 1971. And this is how you know it's right, when you get this creepy diorama. It looks absolutely hilariously awful. And now we have another Bandersnatch attacking us. Of course we do. Best of us getting by them. Don't waste time. Now, this is one of my favourite transitions. Watch the way they showcase that. Look at this. How gloriously cheesy is that? The castle on the hill with lightning forking under the sky. Absolutely amazing. Now again, we've got Bandersnatches here. You're not going to be able to do much about them, just run by them is my advice. And if you do take damage, consult your infinite healing herb. No one said we had to play fair, people. And if you want to get this rank, forget playing fair. Now, once these doors open, we're going to very quickly open the menu. Because for this point of the game, we're going to redeploy the lighter trick. I also like how the music here is kind of like an offbeat version of Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells at the start. Of course, it isn't after that, but it's just the way the piano starts reminds me a lot of the opening of Tubular Bells. So once we're through here, we'll skip this cutscene as well because there's no reason for us to watch it. And these door transitions we can't skip, unfortunately. We just got to sit back and watch them. Be quiet. Ironically, we could have opened that and got the thing if we wanted, because it is the red scarab. So if you want to slightly improve your time, you could have used the red scarab there to get that out of the way, but it's not really necessary. Now what we do is get some ammo hidden on the shelf there. Re-equip the lighter. Don't know why I took it off, to be honest, because we got the bats to navigate again. So down we go. Let's say this run is designed so it's not a perfection run. This is not for speed running as such. This is so that everyone, if you want to get a chance to get this A rank, you can do it. It's designed purely for that reason. So all your strategies might be slightly different to mine, but it's to give you a good opportunity. So we quickly navigate through. Oh, turned too soon there. But luckily, we had enough correction to get around it. If you do find yourself cornered between them, try tanking the damage and then getting through. Always pay attention to your character's model. Of course, if they're covering their side, they're in caution, and if they're limping, they're in danger. Angle to the door, and he will miss you every time. Guaranteed. Now, with the silver door, there's two things we need to do in the mansion. But before we do that, we're going to quickly turn tail on ourselves and go back through the door. Because this is where we're going to prepare ourselves to go back to the prison. And to do that, we want to create as many slots as possible. So we're going to actually put down the proof. We don't need that. We're going to also put down, for now, the grenade launcher. And this key card we no longer need. So we're packing that down. We don't need it. What we do need instead, though, is the hemostatic medicine. We need that. That zombies decide to be awkward. It can happen, unfortunately. They can get in your way. We managed to dodge him. That's the first of the doors for the silver key. You don't have to actually come in here at this point if you don't want to. It can be worth it just to get the extra ammo. And then, crucially, some extra bow gunpowder. Up to you if you collect it. Totally up to you. You can literally just use that key and turn back around on yourself if you want to save some more time. Right, with him now dead, that saves us a little bit of time. In this next area, we are going to have a bit of an issue, but we're going to try and do what we can. So we use the silver key on this door here. We discard the silver key. This is where the second of the blue quests is, and to get it, we have to get into the middle, where two bandersnatches are going to cause us problems. And the big problem is that they can hit you out of your item grabbing animation. And that's incredibly annoying. So sometimes that room can be a real nuisance. Just be prepared to have another couple of goes on the healing to survive. Now we're going to go into the prison area first before we see Rodrigo, because there's one final thing we want to do. So we go down here and we run past the bandersnatches where we can. And sometimes you get lucky and take no damage at all. Which is awesome. So from here, we're going to go over the blocks and go back to where we came from. Because there's an area of the prison we need to explore. So once the door's open, go around the side, and back in here. We're going to take the shortcut we created earlier where the dogs are. We should be able to avoid interacting with them at all. Now there may be new zombies in this area. It's easiest to take them out if there are. Yeah, the reason for that is we're going to find ourselves in a bit of a gauntlet in a minute. So we want to try and take out as many of the ones behind as possible. So now we've done that, this is where we can get ourselves the chance to use the pistol. We're going to need it in a moment, so we'll use this here first. Yeah, because there are two zombies that come out of the woodwork. And now that the music has stopped, you know that they're dead. Yep, kill the zombies now if you can. Makes things a little bit easier. Now, before we go into here, we're going to go this way. Because we have a chance to get ourselves some more useful items. So first things first. Get some ammo that's hidden on the back shelf there. And then we'll push this out of the way of the door. We also want to quickly get into the item box so we can get ourselves access to the grenade launcher. We can also store that because we don't need it just yet. And we're back here. Do you remember being here earlier with Steve? That's right, we've come all the way on the other side of the building. So now we're able to get to the items that were hidden by the special area. Oh, damn it. I had an idea then, but unfortunately it's gone against me. My idea was to trigger the gate and make sure no zombies could attack us. But unfortunately, I missed my cue. So because I missed my cue, I've had to hit the hole, so to speak. And again, that's where the pushing them off before we take damage comes into play. Yes, you can be a bit Crocodile Dundee sometimes with the knife here. The BOW gas rounds we are definitely going to need, but we don't want them just yet. We really don't. Meantime, these flame rounds, we'll equip them into the grenade launcher, and we'll actually equip the grenade launcher as we go. The reason for that is we're going to need to do so. Oh, actually, not right away, we're not. Just realised. Something else we need to do first. Again, if you want to use the pistol versus the knife, it's up to you. You're perfectly able to. Once we're through here, this takes us to the doctor's office. There is actually some ammo here. For some reason, it can sometimes be difficult to register. I don't know why. But we skip that there, we go past it. And yeah, we heard the sound of a creepy enemy there. I wonder what he's doing. Interesting, because that actually missed the second time for some reason. Unfortunately, you can't just throw them into the fire, which would make things much easier, but you can't do that. There we go, they're now dead. Again, you don't have to kill all of these, it's just kind of like it's almost like doing it for fun. And we want this briefcase. We can't do anything with it just yet, but we will be able to soon. Now, this is where we want to equip the grenade launcher. Yeah, the dock has gone crazy. And somehow he dodged my attack. Oh god, wow. He dodged it again. I've never seen him move that fast before. So, yeah. That's why you want the grenade launcher. That is a super zombie, and they are very annoying. Incredibly fast, and incredibly powerful. It's one of the more unusual enemies, that one, and you can very easily find yourself overwhelmed. Even with the infinite healing herb. Save a few seconds by getting down there with the actual wall rising. Quickly, for the final time, we're going to do the lighter trick, because there is one more hallway here where we can do it. Once we're inside, there are zombies. We're going to try and get past them if we can. Otherwise, we'll fight them off. We're done to the right, left there, and that got past us all three. Now this is where we have a very quick puzzle which is require immediate speed to solve. Yeah, the gas is coming. What we want to do is quickly get here and just keep pushing. Hold up. Ignore the rising gas. Try not to panic. Because by doing that, we've got the next part of the puzzle solved. So what we want to do now, drive the sword home and step back. Because there's a zombie coming to attack us. Run around him, get the music piece, and then quickly get out of here as fast as you can. So get the music, scroll, and then straight out. No messing around. Zombies-wise, we're just going to try and get past them. If they get in the way, tank the blows, and go. Now with that, we can go up here, cut the lights up. And we are now clear, 100%. Yeah, you can dodge around enemies like that if you're careful, if you can create the room. This area should now be clear of zombies though, so we don't have to worry about that. And we want to now quickly go and see Rodrigo in the prison. Run to the far corner. And again, the graveyard zombies will still be around, so just try and get by them. Don't worry too much about anything else. If you can't get by them, tank the damage and keep going. Well, tank it as much as you can anyway. And this cutscene plays out automatically, so we're going to hit the cancel button as fast as we can. And that's now got us the lighter exchanged for the lockpick. So what we do is we examine this briefcase, and the lockpick will open it. And we now have the ability to modify our pistol. That's now got 3-shot burst, and is very, very good. It is one of the better weapons you can use in the game, believe it or not. So he enjoys the light of the lighter. We simply carry on playing as we are. So we're now going to go back to the mansion one more time. And if you run into them and you're able to smash the buttons quickly, you can tank the damage and get out of there straight away, not messing around. I set them with ease, no danger there at all. Then what we're doing now is we're going to quickly head back up to the mansion. What we can do while we're here, because it's healing, we can grab that. And that will allow us to make a red and green. So we've got 2 of those in the tank. Basically, we want to get as many of those as possible for later in the game. There's a point where we need lots of healing that we can use. The more we can get now, the easier it's going to be. That went much better than I expected it to. Not a single hit went near me. That's luck. That's very, very much luck.
Greeting.
Skip the cutscene, as iconic as it is. If you've played this game before, you've seen that cutscene and it's quite hilarious. Run up the stairs as quick as we can. We're going to peel left, because this is where we can use the music piece. So there we go. And what's really cool is that music keeps on playing and follows. So we want to get the other of the scarabs. We definitely want that. So we'll swap you for you. So we're heading back to the mansion on the hill one more time. Things will have changed, and I'll just go through those. First of all, we're taking a blow from the Bandersnatch. Can happen. Roll with a punch. Try not to let it get you down. Try not to let it annoy you too much. Now here, there are now a lot of zombies. Let's see if you want to use the gun or if you want to try knifing them. Don't make a difference either way, really. Apart from the fact you might meet with less success with the knife if you don't get a look at. But if you actually hit the chest first and then the legs, you can most of the time keep them still, which is really good. But if they do the lunge thing, unless you're quick on the button smash, you're always going to take damage, which is annoying. So even with the button mashing there, it didn't make much difference. I wasn't able to get through, which is annoying. But they're now all dead, so I'll treat myself to some more healing. Again, if you get good with a knife, you can get through there with no damage. You can also risk running around them. It is possible. But I find the 30 or so seconds you spend doing that is much easier to deal with. Especially because then you don't have to worry about doing it on the way back. And just when you thought it was safe, of course, the Bandersnatchers appear to ruin your day. The next area is going to be awkward too. The bats have gone. There's now a load of zombies. So what I want to do... out to the stairs, hit the action button, and that can keep the zombies away from you. If they miss you, great. If the zombies miss, love it. Unfortunately, there's a lot more zombies in here. The dead have risen hard in this point. Yeah, unfortunately, you can't always get into the door. Now, this is where having the red scarab here first would have been a better way. It would have avoided having to face those two zombies. It would have meant we'd have also had the disc immediately. But, you know, hindsight is 2020, people. So, that's something to bear in mind for the future. I did make a mistake on this run. Interestingly, he's not stayed on his leg. He's not stayed down. And again, if you run at them and then deliberately start smashing the buttons, you can shove them off with no damage. That opens the music box, and then we can put in the disc. Yes, so now we're at the creepy merry-go-round. What we want to do here is quickly go over to this side here, and we want this item that's sparking on the chair. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to examine it, which was right the first time. And then we're going to put it in the mouth of the anteater here, right here. So now what we're doing is going round the other way. And what we'll do is we will go the other side where there's a ladder. We want to push this block all the way forward. And go up here where there's a diary, which we're going to skip past. Well, the reason we're here is for the final proof, which is the Air Force proof. So we've got all 3 proofs that we need, and that's now going to allow us to get access to the plane, which we want. So what we'll do now is quickly go down here. Come off. And then we get ambushed, but we skip the cutscene. Through to the next area. And then we quickly interact with the wig. Another cutscene. And now we are free to escape the island. Well, that's what the game tells us, but the truth is far different. Yep. Shove off the zombie as quick as we can. Unfortunately, I couldn't get past him. She won't step over him. One of the more annoying quirks of Resident Evil, that. You can't step past a downed enemy all the time. You should be able to, but you can't. And there we go. We're past all those zombies. We're down onto the main alleyway. We're going to have to navigate past the band of snatchers again, which is annoying, but just got to do what you can. We want to get past the band of snatchers quickly. And now we're heading towards where the submarine was, because that's where we need to go next. Because we cleared the zombies out here, there's nothing to worry about, so we can just keep moving at high speed. No problems at all. Now we've got the amazing light sourcing here, which is awesome. But we're going to ignore that because we're just getting out of here. Oh, wait, no. Turn back. Just realised we're missing something. We've got one of the proofs. We need 3. I do love the lighting effects that they have here. It's pretty amazing. It looked way better than anything at the time. It's so cool. Especially the way it's on the doors there.
Clear.
So we're now going to head towards the submarine
The
dock.
self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate immediately.
We gotta get to that airport.
Yeah, we do got to get to the airport, Steve. So he's going to turn the wheel for us.
Has been activated. All personnel evacuate immediately.
Oh, this part is outside our control.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate immediately. The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate immediately.
So onwards we go to glory.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate immediately. The self-destruct system has been activated.
These slowdowns seem so annoying. Yeah, Steve just waits there going, what are you doing? Get to it. Doesn't matter what order you put these in, just put all 3 in now.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate.
And that now drops us down.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate immediately.
So what we do now is we get this little lever here. We're going to need that in a moment. We're going to quickly change the ammo for the grenade launcher around because we don't want
All
that.
personnel evacuate.
We do want the regular grenade launcher, but just not that one yet. And we're going to store the ammo there because we don't need it. Okay,
The self-destruct
what we have to do
system
is go back across the island,
all
and then from there we are able to get the aircraft launched. But unfortunately, it's quite a slow process. There's not much we can do about it.
all personnel evacuate immediately. The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate.
Yeah, run past those zombies. Don't be afraid of them. Cross the bridge.
self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel
And where we activated the crane by using the claw machine, we're going to go past that, and there's an area we haven't explored yet.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate immediately. The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate.
So that now raises the bridge. That clears the way for the aircraft to take off the seaplane. So what we're now going to do is find a way to get back to join him. Rather than jumping down that little ramp there and saving all the time, Claire's decided to go the long way round. So what we do is head in here,
The self-destruct
and there is an
system
airport key.
has been activated. All personnel.
At this point, we want to equip the grenade launcher.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel, evacuate immediately.
Go across the bridge one more time, and we'll take the elevator down.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel, evacuate immediately.
And then we're going to go to the left and through the door here.
The self-destruct system has been activated.
Okay.
All personnel, evacuate immediately.
And this brings us down into this area where we have a very annoying lift puzzle to deal with. Very easy though. We want to push this block in all the way.
All personnel, evacuate.
You don't have to do it that way. You can run around if you want. I find the clambering isn't always accurate. The controls there aren't brilliant.
All personnel, evacuate.
So then what we're going to do is go here.
The self-destruct system has been activated.
That gives access to the elevator. We're going to quickly get this ammo. Because we can. The more ammo shots we have here, the better.
Has been activated. All 5 minutes until detonation.
Yep. So we are getting to the elevator and we're on a 5-minute countdown. We are very, very close to the edge. Now, in a moment, it will cut to a scene which we're not going to watch. We're just going to skip that. Yeah.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel.
Now we'll quickly go back towards the mansion, but we'll go via the submarine route. However,
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel.
this is where our first real boss awaits, and it's an annoying one. Basically, we need to hit the Tyrant and not have him get close enough to push us back into the fire. So take a couple of steps forward to get towards him to close the gap. Then hit him with the grenade launcher. Once he's on his knees, don't attack him. He takes no damage, and if you try to run past him, he'll just keep punching you. So hit him again and again. And there he goes. That's how you beat him. If you're not careful and you're too far back, he will knock you into the fire and it's a one-hit kill. That is a run destroyer because you can't continue. If you continue in this game, that counts as a loss of the A rank. It's a run kill. So that's the first time we're going to face that, but it's not the last. There's an infamous point coming up in a moment, and I've got a strategy I'm going to share with you all, which should carry you through it from here forward. So first things first, we get down into the submarine. Again, the fact the timer continues while we're going down the ladders and that is annoying, because we have no way of speeding it up. We have nothing that we can do as the player.
The self-destruct system has been activated.
But we should have plenty of time. We need to get onto the elevator, up onto the plane. Once we've done that, we'll be home free.
The self-destruct system has been.
So we come down the other side here.
All personnel evacuate.
Unfortunately, it can be difficult to know where they are. Their positioning is almost random. Sometimes they're right behind the door, sometimes they're not. You just got to roll all the punches and get on with it.
The self-destruct system has been activated.
So down goes the elevator.
Evacuate. The self-destruct system has been activated.
Right, so the scene takes off. We're up in the air. Now we're going to be skipping quite a few scenes here. So this is going to feel very choppy to watch. I do apologise. Alfred Ashford there, looking a bit like Annie Lennox, actually. Seems to have borrowed a lot of look from Annie Lennox, in my opinion. Okay, so here we are. Now what we want to do is quickly go in here. What we want to get is the BOW gas rounds. Now, what I'm about to face is the Tyrant on the plane. It's known as one of the worst run killers in the world. And knowing my luck, it will kill mine. The back of the plane you can be knocked out of and killed instantly. This is an infuriating boss encounter. So here are my strategy tips. Go in with the BOW gas rounds to start with. Now, no point launching the catapult. Hit him once. If he hits you, just spam your button to avoid taking damage. Hit him again. So he doesn't hit you on the floor. Hit him again. That's where you can have problems. You can stun lock you on the ground if you're not careful. Once you've done that, switch to the grenade launcher. Now that he's started staggering, hit the catapult, and he is no more. That's the safest way I know of to beat that boss. It's the safest way. So now we can skip these cutscenes. And that now allows us to save our game. Clear disc 2. And that's asking us to change discs. So, I'm going to stop the recording here. There's going to be a little bit of a wee jump cut. And then we're going to go into the second disc of Code Veronica Kanzenban. Back shortly. Right, good afternoon, people. Welcome back. So we're going to do the second part of my playthrough for Code Veronica. Now, this is to show that this is a save that doesn't count. If you click Port C, ignore that. It's asking me to format the card. You can actually see that it says it has the katakana for Claire, and then it has 0, 0. That means that the game will still recognize this as no saves. So this is our one and only checkpoint. If we die, we go back. So we'll start off as Claire. First thing we're going to do is we are going to get ourselves some extra ammo. So we're going to do a quick turn off the ladder and into this room here. This is like a bunk room. You'll find a lot of characters here. We want to try and minimize interaction where we can. You can come back here later when you've done something to turn the power on if you want. Personally, I like to get out of here as soon as possible. Hidden on the bed there is some pistol ammo. Make sure you collect that. You can also get some more on the shelves here. And then if you go to this locker, what we'll want to do is, first of all, we will want to decline the first aid spray, and it will automatically allow us to collect the pistol. Now, the reason we come in here is the extra explosive gun. Extra explosive powder for the bow gun. Now, can you guess what's going to happen next, people? It's a classic trope of Resident Evil. Just go to the left and then quickly dash to the right. Get out of there. Don't waste time. Don't start killing them all. It's a waste of ammo. It's a waste of your time. Ignore it. We're also going to very quickly go and visit the safe room because we want to jettison some gear and free some slots up. All these people in webbing is a little bit ominous, and you're going to find out why in a moment. We're going to unfortunately be faced with what has to be one of the most annoying sets of enemies in the game, but time will tell on that one. So quickly, what we want to do is we want to store the grenade launcher. We don't need that anymore. While we're here, we might as well get the bowgun bolts made and also the lockpick opened in the case, because we're going to reach a point soon where we're not going to be able to do that. So this is our chance. All you need to do is examine it with the middle option, tilt it towards you where the handle is, and it'll bring up the option to use the lockpick. And there you go. There we are. So that's the explosive guns. Now all we need to do is a quick combination and then a second combination. We now got a load more explosive tips ammo for the bow gun. We're not going to equip this though. We're going to put that in the item box. We don't want it. We don't need it. We are going to use something else later. In the interim now, we're going to quickly get out of here because while we can do something in this room, it's not going to benefit us in terms of time. Going to the right here, and these moths are the most annoying enemy in the game. Now you can take them down with one shot, which is good, but they have a nasty habit of poisoning you and planting an embryo on your back. If they poison you, there is in that hallway an infinite blue herb that you can use to get rid of the poison status. If you again with the zombie, all you want to do with the knife is try and get a horizontal slash when they're away from you, and then with that you can actually track them in to knock their feet from underneath them. So horizontal swipe and then down to the legs and just aim to slash and slash and slash. It's a genuine strategy. You can work really well. If you can bait them into an open area where you avoid getting the knife caught on the walls, that's a good idea too. So just down they go. Quick slashes. If you do find that they get back up, just get a few more slashes in and get rid of them. This is a way of saving ammo. We don't want to waste too much of our resources. Despite having hundreds of shots, we want to have as many as we can in the tank. Quickly run to the left so you avoid that first zombie. Go behind this one to the right. And then you can get the power room key. Next time what we want to do is run in here. We actually managed to get past him. That wasn't intended. That was a complete accident. If you get bitten, just shrug them off as usual. You got your infinite herb for a reason. The infinite herb will carry you through this playthrough. I guarantee it. Oh, that camera angle change has really made things difficult. And if you do take damage, don't worry about it. Just as long as you're not too low health to get killed. That's the lesson you want. So you quick use, off you go, turn back around, and slash. You don't actually need to kill these, but because of that movement I did earlier on was unintentional, I've actually baited them into the room. So now, might as well get rid of them while they're here. And that's them done. Click into these, we have a nice little pull-out cache, where we can get the AK-47. That is the weapon we want. We want that. Now with the power room, we're going to very quickly get into here to do this part to Claire. Claire's part at this point is quite short, so this will be a very quick guide. We go underneath the conveyor belts, up the stairs here. And that's where we use the power room key. We can jettison it immediately. That's what that second yes or no option was. It was given the option to discard the key. Go to the right up here. You don't have to do this now, but it will save you a load of time if you do. You go into this step here and interact with this. What that is the game saying there is that there's an octagonal shaped hole. If you don't do that, you're forced into a really annoying set of backtracking later, which you want to avoid. Equip the pistol, because we're about to face off against one of the most annoying enemies in Resident Evil, and that is the dogs. Now, the pistol is probably the best weapon for dealing with them, believe it or not. It's a really effective way, and I'll show you why. Basically, as soon as she gets the second box of ammo, because it is there, pick up the 2 boxes of ammo. What you want to do is knock the dog back, run up to her, and then simply aim down and shoot. The triple stop of the automatic pistol will pin them in place, and they will not be able to respond. Following that, we're going to take a little bit of a risk here. We've activated the power turbine. Now we need to switch the power back on. So we go back this way, turn left, take a wide angle, hit track with the wall. That activates the switch. Then once again, forward and left to get behind the dog and then to the door. That's a relatively easy strategy to pull off. If you do get bit by the dog or tangled, shrug it off and then do what I did with the first dog. Knock it down, aim down with your gun, and shoot repeatedly until it dies. So, with that in mind now, we've got the power on. What we want to quickly do is go into this room. There are 2 enemies in here, and the 3rd enemy we can't touch. We just want to run from them. Because, in typical Resident Evil fashion, we have spiders. And everyone hates the spiders. They are irritating. They are an annoying enemy, because they can spit venom at you, and they can bite you. We want this key here, so it's on this box. You get that storehouse sticker. We need that. If you find yourself poisoned here, ride it. Ride the poison. Because we have a way to deal with that in just a second. Rather than getting stuck going for the blue herb at the back of that room, which is quite risky and dangerous, what we're going to do is deal with that in a moment. First things first, we need to activate this power switch on the wall here. And that automatically shifts that forward. We're not going to be able to get that box ourselves yet, but that will come into play later. Now, if you activate the switch here, nothing happens. The reason for that is you need to put the BOW sticker on, despite it having the sign that it's got the sticker. Once you put that barcode on there, it will now, instead of going around the carousel in a loop, be fed through the right belt to go into the BOW room. That's the same room where the spiders were. The reason we wanted that is because the arrival of this item will drop a gas in it. And crucially, open up a gas mask. That item is critical. Do not forget the gas mask. That is an item we need. So, we're still poisoned, but we're going to deal with this in just a second. We'll get in here. Usefully, from this door, you can take care of the moths quite easily because they're on the wall. By the time they react, you've shot them. And right there is an infinite blue herb. You can't collect it, but you can use it. So what we're doing now is we're going to actually solve this room as Claire. Go to the back wall and push this bookshelf back about 3 steps. Then make that 4 steps. Go through. Yes, that character is a very important character in a way. If you know, you know. Skip the reading of that. It's not going to tell us anything of value. And then hit the switch. That now opens that there. And triggers a cutscene that we're going to skip. And we want to get the plant pot. By itself, the plant pot's useless. But if we examine it and tilt it upside down, that's where they hid the power room key. So with that in mind, we can now advance further in the game. So we're going to move up the stairs, go back where we came from with the plane that had crashed into the wall. So we're going to head straight forward from here. Pray that you don't get poisoned, because otherwise you got to backtrack. And then up the stairs. Now what we'll do is go into here. These double doors are the way we go as Claire. Then all we have to simply do is go into the power room. We'll use the key and automatically get rid of it. We don't want it. It's hogging space that we don't need. Then what we do here, go through this door. And we find ourselves above the turbine that we turned on. You can even hear the dogs still running around. We don't care about the dogs running around. They can't get to us. They don't matter. Head back towards the door we came in through.
Clear.
And we ignore Steve, who sets up a trap that we don't want. So we'll get rid of that quickly.
It's all my fault.
And then we skip that cutscene. I was having a problem getting a response then, but I've now fixed it going, so that's fine. As Claire, head over this way, and what we want to do is enter this room. There is some ammo that we can get here on the side, so we might as well pick it up. Here too. Now we use the valve on this item here because we looked at the hole earlier and though it's octagonal, it will auto cut to the size we need. If you did not look at the valve hole, you will not be able to do that and we'll have to go all the way down and deal with it. Meantime, equip the AK-47 because we're not taking any weapon apart from that and the knife for the next point. We're not going to need anything else. So we head across this way. We're now above the belt room and you might have noticed there's a lot of zombies. They've come out of nowhere. You can't stop them spawning. What we're going to try and do is make them a non-issue. But in order to do that, we first of all need to get through this area. Down the stairs. Now we're going to quickly go into this room because this is our last chance to make some key changes. We must make sure we're ready. So I said we're not taking anything but the AK-47 and the knife. That includes the herb. We're going to switch it for regular ones. This is why I told you earlier in the playthrough, make sure that you make up regular ones. They're needed for a reason. Also, we can store the valve handle. We no longer require that. So this is our really basic loadout. We've got a couple of healing, and we've also got the AK-47. Keep the gas mask on you. We're going to need that. Now, very quickly, peel off to the right side. And again, hope that you don't get in any way poisoned. It can happen. Now, that little thing that you saw happen with Claire then was where they implanted the embryo. Cut left, go to the right of this zombie, the left of this zombie, and up the stairs. You may find you have to practice that. Meanwhile, check the thing, and as I thought, it's managed to poison her. That, unfortunately, can happen. We're not allowed to save, and I don't want to fight for all the zombies to go back for it. So we're going to take the punt, we're going to take the L, and hope for the best. Of course, if you had any blue herbs earlier you could use, you'd be able to do that there. So we're not an octagonal hole. And stupidly, I've realised I've left the crank behind. So my guide on how to get through this game without making mistakes, I've just made the biggest one in the world. That's the biggest fail you'll ever see. I am an expert, apparently. Evidently, I am not. So, we might as well use this to our advantage. There's a couple of things we can do here. First of all, take them down. Use the blue healing herb. And then what we'll do, because we're going into the item box... So when I said, lead the crank, you don't need it, wrong, you do. I'm an idiot. But it's fine. I was thinking to another part of the game, and I've just realised that you do actually automatically leave it. Pull out the infinite herb, reuse it, and then store it again. So if you do make a mistake, like I've done here, that's how you can do it. Do not make the mistake I did there. Stop it. I will do a very quick... In the edit for this, you will see me owning that in full. So, once again, I'll show you this little movement, see if it works. You want to aim to the right of this zombie, aim towards the cage, get behind him, and up the stairs. That way you don't have to waste any ammo or any time. The only time I've wasted was backtracking for the valve. That was my fault. I fully own it. So up we go. Skip that scene. Skip this scene. Now, as Claire, what you're supposed to do here, when it loads, You see how the camera zooms in on the sniper rifle? You're supposed to go straight to Steve. Don't. Go down here and grab the rifle. Claire will automatically equip it.
Claire, what are you doing? Let's go!
So at that point, we'll move on. We'll skip the cutscenes here. We have a chance here to do this next part without using any of our AK-47 ammo, but it's not likely.
Okay.
So now we've got the boss. By skipping the cutscene, if you aim with the sniper rifle, you can zoom in using the L button. And what we're aiming to do is try and hit him in the heart. Well, the aim is not great, but if you do hit him, you will see him flinch. That's how you'll know you've done it. Like that. If you see him flinch like that, you've got it. But if you don't see that, you've not. And this is where the draw distance really causes a problem. So I can't actually even see him there at the moment. The fog's that bad. Don't get me wrong, I like the effect. Right, okay. So, we are now out of ammo for the rifle, as far as I can tell. So by switching to the AK, go over to the right corner, unleash a few shots, and then quickly do the same here. If you get caught by the mist, there's not much you can really do about it. You just gotta keep going. Be careful. If you stay too long on the edge, his tentacle whip can knock you off for an instant kill. And there we go, we've seen him fall. So that's a solution if you want to save ammo in this game. That's one way to do it. Skip these following cutscenes. And we take control of Chris. Skip this cutscene. And now we're going to save Rodrigo. Quickly use the item box. And the few things we're going to do here is we're going to swap the knife for the M100P. Swap the pistol for the knife. We'll take the ammo, but we're going to drop it for now. So we'll put that in there. And we'll switch that for our infinite healing herb. We're going to come back into this room. So all we'll do is equip the M100P. This weapon is useless almost any other time in this game. But we're now going to come up against a boss called the Gulp Worm. If he knocks you on your backside, don't worry about it. Just keep moving for when he does that little horizontal attack there. I usually find running in a circle around here is your best bet, because you have more space to exploit. So if you run in a circle, keep an eye for when you see the ground movement. When you hear him like that, just keep spamming the button to shoot as much as you can. It's a semi-automatic weapon. And as you can see, it absolutely rinses him. For whatever reason, it absolutely murders him, this weapon. The Gulp Worm is dominated by that gun. So use it. Don't be afraid to take advantage. Quickly go into here, because we're going to store this gun and pull out instead Claire's pistol, and we'll also get Claire's ammo. Claire's pistol is better than even the upgraded version of Chris's Glock. It's just not as good. Oh, we don't want to equip it. We want to use it. By using the lighter here, that now gets us access to the submachine guns. These are effective against one type of enemy we're going to come up against in this game, so it's worth us having it in the back now. So, in this point of the game, Chris has gone to Rockfort Island, which Claire has escaped from. So Chris is now charged with finding his own way off the island to get after Claire. So with that in mind, we're going to get the ammo here. and down we go. Once we rode the elevator, we'll come out in a pretty familiar place to all of you. Because we're coming out in the room where Claire and Steve took their joint fall. Run past the zombie if you can. Again, if you do get mauled, shrug them off, use some healing. The dogs from earlier in the game have now gone, so you don't have to show as much urgency in this room. Run to the back side of the tank here and hit the switch. Might as well grab the ammo while we can. So yes, this game is notorious for having too little resources apparently, and I'm here with 400 shots in the pistol. Time for a little bit of optional content for you all. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Basically, we go into this door here. And we can get ourselves some useful items. We're picking up the extra herb just in case. And then we can also pick up the acid rounds just to store them. We may decide to use the grenade launcher later, but being honest, it's kind of not that useful. It's not the best weapon in the game. We are going to want to carry that key card at some point, but we don't need to get it just yet. Get the pistol ammo. The shells there are for the shotgun, but the shotgun's kind of disappointing in this game. I don't recommend getting it. Now there's a puzzle here to get a bonus item. The wall piece painting says, fire flows from mountain, flows to sea, and forms land. So what we want is the middle icon, which is red, or Akai in Japanese. We then want the left icon, which is blue, or Aoi in Japanese. And then the third one, which is Midori, or green. And that's gone completely wrong. Oh, actually, no. It flows over land to the sea. So you go red, green, blue. Hear that click? And then brown. Now that item on its own is useless. It's just a replica of the Luger. You can't use it as a weapon at all. You'll never be able to use it. But here's the thing. By having it in the inventory, you will unlock a bonus feature in the post-game. So it's a question of whether you want to get all the things at once. On the later ports of the game, there might also be a trophy tied to that. So if there is, RGB. Red, green, blue. Now what we want to do here is quickly get around the spider. There's no point fighting them. There's no incentive. They're a waste of time. They're quite tanky. They can poison you. It's just not worth the effort. So don't waste it. Don't bother. What we want to do now is go back towards the elevator we came out of, but we're not going to actually use it. Because what we're going to do instead is take care of this zombie quickly, just knock it down. We don't have to do anything serious there. Quickly get the battery. That then activates this tiny little tail lift. And then we can get up here. Got left here, we'll want this key. However, we can't use it yet. There's a place we need to get to for it, and that's a while on the cards. Turn back on ourselves, go through this door. We are now at the top, and there's a cutscene we can skip. We can also skip the next cutscene, which is Wesker. We don't want anything to do with that. Now, what we're supposed to do here is go straight down to the next floor so we can get access to something. All the way down to the basement, but we're not doing that. Not just yet. So this shield, what we're looking to do is create a compound that can dissolve it. There's a reason for that, but at the moment, we can't do anything with it. This next room, it is optional if you come here, because the enemies do actually disappear if you don't, they do actually disappear. However, I find it useful to come here, and I'll tell you why. Basically, by coming here, we can get access to extra item slot. Oh, don't stand too close to the fire. Fire hurts people. Yes, he is supposed to explode, but for some reason it's not consistent. But we've got the ammo in surplus, so we might as well use it. So now we've got a couple of extra item slots. That'll be to our advantage. What we want to do here, first of all, use a heal because we took some damage from the fire. Always good to give yourself maximum health. There should be no zombies in here, but go just run to the right and you should bypass them. Or maybe not. Okay, cool. So we're going to B1 here. Now this is where we actually can gain access to something useful. We go down the stairs here. Couldn't get down there as Claire. And we can now get a shotgun. Nice little Easter egg. Back to the original Resident Evil that with the shotgun on the wall. At this moment in time, though, what we want to do instead is, first of all, equip the submachine guns. We're now going through a new area that was not accessible as Claire. It's like an underground cryo lab. It's actually pretty cool. There is an AK-47 clip on top of one of those one of those tubes, but I find you'll never really need it. If you want to get it for Claire later, it's up to you. You don't have to. You should be able to get by with even the most basic of extra ammo. Being honest, you shouldn't need too much ammo as Claire anyway. Shotgun shells there, it's up to you if you collect them. Personally, I don't recommend using the shotgun in this game. Its stopping power's not great, and it's not got the satisfaction or the speed. The key will be automatically jettisoned, and essentially we're trying to find which of these chemicals we need by setting the temperature, which is 12.8. Apparently that's a coincidental reference to the date that the base was formed, but the colour will change, and there you go. By getting that item now, we save ourselves an interaction with a very, very dangerous enemy later on, and we also save ourselves quite a bit of time. So what we want to do now is get access to the doorknob here. Now we're going to skip all these cutscenes. Pin them with the submachine gun. The submachine gun is very effective at pinning the hunters in place. That's why I recommend getting them from Rodrigo. Ideally, we want to save Rodrigo anyway, because it means we're guaranteed to be complying. But if I go to, I think it's this one here, for instance. It's like one of the switches on the wall. Yeah, here you are. So that's where the AK-47 clip is. It has 50% ammo. So if you want to pick that up on the way back for Claire later on in the game, you can do. It's not essential. It's up to you as a player. Now, what we're going to do before we carry on is we're going to very quickly get access to the next area. So what we want to do, use the shotgun. That now gets us access there. And we want to go up to floor B1. So we're at B1. We now want to go to floor 1. This is where the game has a rather cool but also annoying feature. What are known as the camera scanners. Basically, we saw it in the FMV. These lights act as security beams, and essentially, if you trigger them, you summon a new enemy. We don't want that. It's a pain in the backside. So that's to give you an idea how that works. Now, realistically, before coming here, I want to run quickly, because there is another place we need to go just before visiting here, which is on the 2nd floor. So, it cost ourselves a few seconds of our time, but we're not on the minutes here. We have a 4.5 hour time to play with, so we should have ample time for a small error like that. This is not a speed run. This is not a continuous run. I knew there were zombies here at some point. Again, if you do want to clear the zombies out, that's fine. And again, if you can clear them out using the knife, by isolating them... Ah, that's interesting. Normally a one slash the legs takes them down. So there you go. We're taking them down with the knife. Might as well reload that while we can. And out we go. So this room we came in before, this is how when you're supposed to access it. And with it, what we can now do is run past a new scanner here, which is going to summon an enemy. We go through this door, and we're now going to finally see what's on this side of the door, because you couldn't open it before, it's clear. But now we can. We're finally going to see what's on this mysterious side of the door, people. And you'll find, literally, nice little toy of a tank. That's all that's here. There might also be some ammo on this side. Indeed there is. So there's some pistol ammo there as well. There's nothing else of value here. What we want to do now is quickly go back into the elevator and down to the 1st floor. The room where the painting was and the diorama, that's our destination. At this point here, if you're quick, you can get behind that without triggering the hunter. If you do trigger the hunter, just try and take it down. The timing is very annoying. There's a tiny little couple of frames where the light fades and then comes back in. That's your window to get past them. Obviously, we've not got the zombies here now because I cleared them out. If you haven't cleared them out, either shrug them off or run around them, depending on how your luck goes. Once we're down at floor B1, floor 1, all we have to do here is quickly go to the right, and again, if you don't trigger the hunter, it means that you actually don't have to worry about him being there on the outside. But again, if you do trigger the hunter, best thing to do is take it out. So that now activates a new route, and all we want to do is get the key. We're going to need to throw that switch. In order to do so, what we need to do is bring the Army, Air Force, and Naval proofs back from where we used them to get access to the plane as Claire and Steve. So, to reach it, we go back down to floor B1. And we go down the stairs here. Leave the shotgun, we don't need that. Because the key we just picked up is to use the turntable lift, where we found the doorknob. Yep, scene with Wesker, and then a Bandersnatch. See? That's probably the most effective way as Chris to take it out, because Chris doesn't really have access to anything, but the only other thing is the fire grenade launcher. That will take them out quite quickly. But for me, use the knife. It takes 2 seconds. And up you go. Now, we can also, as Chris here, get access to some bowgun powder to make another set of explosive gunpowder. It's in our interest to do so. It's worth it. So what we'll do is we'll quickly get that. And push the block in. This part's never been fun. It's one of the more tedious parts of old school Resident Evil. The pushing of blocks. Step on board, and there we go. You could see them as Claire, but not reach them. Now you know why. So, I mean, we have the option to go into the next area as Chris. And to do that, what we're going to do is quickly go this way. There are now 2 hunters out here. Just run. Tank any damage as best you can. If they block your path to the elevator, just heal and get back in. And then just go straight into the elevator. So we know this next area from Claire's scenario. It's where we triggered the 5-minute detonation. Head to the right. Now, it's in our interest, actually, to get these healing herbs. Just so we've got them in our position here. So we'll drop the healing herb. We need to have 3 slots in order to be able to move to the next point forward. So what we want to do here is actually, to give ourselves the best opportunity, drop that for now. In fact, what we're best off doing is actually taking a punt and dropping our knife. We're going to leave the knife and we're going to rely on the pistol and the submachine guns. Because we need the space. Yeah, we have a hunter here now. If you don't do what I did and go to the left there, you can get through without taking any damage. Now, as you see, the lift is down. So what we need to do is actually put the lift into place. So all we do is go onto the elevator. Sorry, hunter, not this time. Once we're on the elevator, you can't hurt us. And out the door. If we try to lower the lift using the lever, it will fail. Because the pressure is not right. So what we want to do instead is very quickly sort it out. So we have one of those puzzles where we have to get the fluids to a certain level. We need to get them to show 7 litres. The way to do it, start with 3. Add another 3. Then add a 5. Hit this button to drain the excess oil. Add the remainder of the 5. Then the 3. And one more 3. Now these zombies, apart from shotgun shells, there's no reason to go there. So just ignore them. Get straight out of the room. Don't waste your ammo, don't waste your time. Once we're here, all we need to do is very quickly throw the lever. Can't skip this cutscene, unfortunately. We are stuck with it no matter what we do. So drop the elevator again. Chris is going to look at the hunter, so I'll tell you where it is. Ignore it, tank any damage, and then go straight through. Now here's where we're going to be a little cheeky. There's a hunter on this bridge. One clip will take it out before it reaches us. That's a brilliant way of saving some of our better guns and also being able to avoid taking damage. If you miss a couple of shots, manually reload. Don't reload using the auto clip. You want to avoid shooting this zombie because it's got an explosive pack on its back. The last thing you want to do is blow yourself up by accident. Pick up the ammo. Now there's another hunter in here. Same trick. We got a bit unlucky there because it did a jump attack on us, but we managed to tank the damage, and then we shot it to death. Hit the PC. That deactivates the power. And with that, we can now get the free proofs. So with that hunter now dead, what we want to do is get past the zombies. Watch the pattern of them because they do move. They do randomly change position. So you gotta be able to bear the alarm. If he's facing away from you, shoot him and blow him up. Take out the trouble. Don't mess around. We're now going to go back through where we came to get to the elevator that takes us back up to the turntable. So literally run in a straight line. And then spam the old hitting the door. There you go, that time he actually missed us. Not always guaranteed to take damage there. Once here, we're now going to face one of the more nervy parts of this game. Because the hunters that were in the outside area will have been replaced with a very annoying variant that can poison you. So not only do you have the terror of the hunters as they are, with their high damage and high agility and high tankiness, they can now poison you. This is where the game basically raises a middle finger and says they're not going to make it easy. So try and run by them. If you do get hit, get inside, and only when you're inside, check your status. If you've been lucky, like I've just been, you won't be poisoned. But if you do get poisoned, be advised, earlier in the game, with the way I played it, we barely took anything from this room. And to our off-camera behind us, right here, are some extra healing items. So you do have a way to get a blue herb and avoid being poisoned. Again, if you take damage, tank it, run past it, don't worry about it. So with the pistol, we're now in a place to take out this zombie here. Yeah, I'm not fooled by you lying on the ground, matey, you don't fool me. Manual reload, and then we jump down this ladder here. By using the keycard as Claire the way we did, this should allow us to get a free slot. Hit the breaker. And that now clears all the BOW poison gas that we could not get through. This is why we did not go through this way earlier. We have a blue card reader here. Use it as Chris. And that's now asking us, do we want to get rid of the card? Yes, we do. Up to the top of the stairs. Dodge around the zombies if you can. Save the ammo. Run in a straight line in the next room because there is a hunter. We want to go into the room which we cleared out of Steve. By going through here, you see we can't get those acid rounds now because we didn't free them as Claire. Mix these two things together, and that gets us a chemical compound that we need. Pick up the ammo, might as well. We're back past 400 shots. And once again, just run across the hallway to this door. That room, by the way, if you decided not to use Claire's pistol and kept Chris's, you can upgrade your gun there. And I will be fair to it, if you get a hunter from behind, there's a chance you can kill a hunter with it in one shot. It's not guaranteed, but it can happen. Now, in a moment, we're going to have a chance to not only retain the shotgun, but we also have a chance to get some very useful healing. But we're going to leave that for now. What we're looking to do is get back into the room with the diorama. Now, the camera, oddly enough, was there, but deactivated. I don't know why. You want to use the proofs? I'm not sure what's sparking. That's annoying me. It's an annoying sound. And then we can pull the master lever. And that retracts the hall, revealing a hidden ladder. And I say we can get some shotgun shells here. Might as well grab them while we can. Because we're going to have enough slots for what we need here. Drop down the ladder. Now, this is where the game expects you to fight a boss. But there is a way to cheese it. Requires a little bit of luck and a copious abuse of the infinite healing herb. I will be honest, this is a little bit cheater. But basically what I want to do, get full health here before we start. There is the emblem we need in the water. And an adult version of the electric creature is waiting for us. So this is meant to be a boss fight. However, we can cheese it if we're careful. What we're going to do is get into the water, tank the electricity damage, pick up the shield, keep tanking the damage, and there you go. Even without the infinite healing herb, you can actually use the health here to get you back to full health. Why waste your ammo? Why waste time? If you do that, you can get it straight away without messing around. Run past the spiders if you can, and an up ladder. Now that we've done that, access the menu, combine this compound with that, and we get ourselves a golden key. That's important because now we're going to get off the island. Already, yes. So how do we do that? First of all, we go down to B1. Because we didn't take the shotgun with us, we've not had to worry about navigating an annoying hall full of zombies and going the long way round. Instead, what we're going to do is simply step off the elevator, go down the stairs, and we're going to grab the shotgun. And now that we've done that, we're going to very quickly go across here. There's a zombie that'll wake up, but we're going to be past it before it's a problem. We're going to pick up the red herb. We'll pick up this one too. And then we're going to go upstairs. And this ladder is going to take us to where we got the battery. So this is our last chance to make any changes to our supply loadout. And here's my idea for you all. So first of all, might as well grab the shotgun shells. You can see there's an infinite blue herb here. So if you did get poisoned by the spiders or the hunter, and we're able to keep going using the infinite herb, you can then cure the status ailment by being here. Take out these, and we might as well combine them. The reason we're making these herbs is we are going to need them in the second part of the game in a minute. There's a place where we can't take the infinite herb to. We need these in play. So while we're here, we can also very quickly make the final set of explosive rounds. We're not likely to need any more. So the explosive bow gun is a exceptional weapon. It's just that there's not many rounds for it. But that's not relevant now, but it will be later. So what we're going to do is quickly go over to the left here. And then we're going to use this item. And that's going to allow us to get to the hangar where Alfred Ashcroft had his plane. By skipping the cutscene, we immediately start in Antarctica. So we're already here. Start by shooting these tentacles with the pistol. The pistol does the job, saves you all the ammo you need. We're going to very quickly go down the ladder here, but we're not going to be for too long, because what we do, we're going to ignore this room. There's no point in us going back there. Complete waste of our time. We are going to go into the safe room down here, though, because there's an item that we need to obtain. You can see how the area is now all frozen over because of the ice wall that Steve and Claire bashed through. So now what we do is, first of all, is there anything we want to drop? We can get it, but there's nothing there. Instead, we go here and we use the item one more time, and that unlocks the cabinet. Now with this, we have a few things we can do. We need that glass cube. That's the notice from the butler. We can skip that. We can also ignore the ink ribbon. We don't need it. Now, one thing I've always wanted to find out is, do we see anything in it? Now, you see, there's a bit of a continuity error there, because a character should be in that chamber, but we can't see them. That's obviously done on purpose to avoid spoiling the story for anyone who accidentally goes back there, but it's actually a continuity error, technically. Wanted to show that off just in case anyone was curious. There are two things we need to do here. The first thing we need to do is go and actually retrieve the valve handle that Claire used to get rid of the poison gas. Now, fortunately for us, the escape that Steve and Claire did put so much water into the area, it's now created a solid ice floor. With that in mind, I'm pretty sure that physics will tell you that's not likely to happen. We can now get back there this way. So we can grab that. This cutscene you can't skip. And also, Chris, you survived the Spencer Mansion. You survived Rockfort Island. Why are you surprised? Why haven't you just run past them? Why haven't you just got by them? But video game logic kicks in. We are stuck here. Want to quick turn, run around the outside, tank any damage, keep moving. And then out the door. Again, there's no value gained by fighting them, so just run. What we want to quickly do in here, even though it's going to cost us a bit of ammo, is we do want to go into this room. The reason for it is there's an item we can obtain that might come in useful. I do like how the zombies can die by interacting with surfaces in this game. Like the way they can just like fall down. That's really cool. But that's the thing we want. We want this beryllium case. That's what we're after. There's also some shotgun shells. Might as well pick them up. But we're not likely to use them because we got the shotgun and we stored it in the item box. It's, as I said before, it's not a great weapon in this game, the shotgun. It's actually a really disappointing weapon. That spider, look at the size of that thing. Yeah, you stay below the ice. You stay right there. I don't want anything to do with you.
What?
Yep, Wesker beats us here. So if you do trigger one of these, just switch to your submachine guns, wait for them to come. Get over them. and keep them pinned. You can double tap them that way quite easily. There are quite a few of these enemies to take out, so we'll do that now while we can. So there are 2 this way that we want to take out if we can. Yep, you're dead. So we do want those items. We want them taken care of quickly. We're not going into that door just yet because we're going to deal with some other stuff first. Now, in here is another room that we want to activate. And we start by going to the backside here and using the valve handle. Much like in Resident Evil 2, the valve handle is multi-use in this game. With that in mind, what we can now do is hit this switch here. And that gives us more power. So while we've got the chance, we're going to very quickly store the case. We're going to store the shotgun shells. But we are actually going to grab another item in a minute. But we're going to save it for now because there's something else we need first. Because we're going to play the game in a slightly different sequence to normal. This is why I recommend carrying the pistol. This rinses through ammo. All of that there has just cost us all the ammo, but it's worth it. Honestly, it's one of the most useful weapons in the game, the pistol. For those of us back in the day, this is the part where the game blew our minds. Where we had the replica of the Spencer Mansion. However, at this point in time, we're not interested in that. So we'll take the one on the left, and that gets us access to that. That's what we want. We want that. And then by restoring the eye, he gets in there. And now we want to take the red eye. Now we can't do anything just yet, so what we'll do is we'll quickly combine that with that to create the square prank. And then we've just got ourselves some Magnum rounds. Now the Magnum is a missable weapon in this game, and it's very easy to miss because of one key item, and I will show you more in a moment. But first things first, we're going to head up in the elevator here. Can't skip this cutscene of the ant hive. We can't do anything about that. It's insane anthill. Those enemies are very annoying. There's not much we can do about it. Now, we're about to enter into one of the most interesting puzzles in the game, which if you want to solve it, I will allow you to do so. All you'll need to do is pause the game. If you want to have a go at this one yourself, I'll tell you how to solve it, kind of, but I won't tell you the solution. So basically, we go here. So it says there, you have the heart, spade, double A, and crown, okay? And I'm saying, do I want to put the code in? I'm going to say no. Basically, what you're supposed to do is examine this cube and get the opposite of each one. So, because that's the idea, so it's the opposite of the code. So, if you want to pause the video now, you can have a go at doing that video. Have a go at solving the puzzle yourself to find the code. I'm going to give you a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we are now in the spoiler room section. So, the solution for this is double A, the crown, the heart, and the spade. Once that drawer's open, all you need to do is deposit the cube. Or at least you should do, it's saying no need to use it now. And that's where Alfred's body is spat out. And with these, in classic Resident Evil fashion, what you have to do is take a look at the item, and look at that. It's spat out. Just like that. So, that's where that goes. There's no point wasting ammo trying to take them down. It doesn't work. You might as well just tank the shot and keep moving. Apologies, I just hit my microphone boom arm there, so I do apologise for that awful sound, people. So now what we're going to do is head back this way. And what we want to do is go through here. This hallway is now clear. There is nothing for us to worry about here. Now we're going to very quickly go in here, because what we want to get is an item that I've just realised I've not returned the jewel. The jewel has not been returned. Oh, no, I have. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I thought that was the tool from the tiger statue, and I just realised it's a very similar shape, but it's not that one, so ignore me. I'm talking nonsense as usual, people. Right, that's the typewriter. We don't care about the typewriter. So, what we're going to do is we're actually going to pick up the fire extinguisher. Now, the reason for this is interesting, because the fire extinguisher is now empty, as I'm sure you're all aware. Most people, when they play this game at the start, because they've got so little item slots and they have to carry so much with them in the prison, will often leave the fire extinguisher in the little storage box in the prison area where you have to go through the security gates. By leaving it there, though, you can't recover it in any other way. And without that, you have a problem. Because if you go here, hit this blue switch, as you can see, it's a massive crane full of extinguishants. What you can do is refill the extinguisher. That allows you to go down this elevator here and put out this fire. And conveniently, it gets rid of the item for you. There it is, people. We have the Magnum. This weapon, unfortunately, is not that useful at this point of the game, because essentially you find yourself so limited on ammo. But there is one very big use for it. It's phenomenal against hunters. It is wonderful against hunters, and if you can get enough zombies lined up in a row, you can take out 5 or 6 of them in one shot. This will allow us to potentially leave behind a weapon or two. So we're going to drain the water. And conveniently, the valve handle gets left in place for us. We never have to carry that again. And there is a key. See? One shot. It didn't even have time to load the music. It was that fast. It was that quick a shot. It got us through in seconds. So the Magnum is great if you find yourself up against hunters. Before we go back down into the underground area, we're going to go to the right. Because now what we want to do go through here and use the crane key. Skip the cutscene, and now the spider has come to play. Don't fight it. Don't waste your time. Instead, come here, get the item, quickly pull it out of its case before you forget. Perfect. And go back through the door here. You will never have to come through this room again, so don't waste your time trying to fight that enemy. Just get out of the way. Conveniently, for whatever reason, that also gets rid of the trackers, so you'll never summon a hunter into this area either. Now, before we go into the next area, we're just going to very quickly walk around here, just in case of any missing items. Indeed, there's one there. We needed that. That's important. Now, this is where we need to very quickly go back to our item box, because we need to create a space, specifically for the knife. The reason we need the knife... Meantime, switch to the pistol here. Because now what we want to do is store the submachine guns and replace them with the knife. The submachine guns have kind of served the purpose. We shouldn't interact any more hunters realistically. We've also got the Magnum. So the Magnum is absolutely OP in this game, and it's why it's so hard to obtain. If you get it, it's a very useful weapon, but it's actually not a boss killer, bizarrely. It's great though for mowing through mobs. You can have so much fun with it. So yes, here we are, the official reveal of where the original Spencer Mansion design looked. And there is Claire. All you have to do is use, and Chris will cut her free. Yep, and because Claire wasn't poisoned by the boss, we go straight to her area of the game. If Claire gets poisoned there, you have to you have to do a session as Chris where you have to go back and find some items for her, and it's a right royal pain in the backside. So we've had to use 71%, nearly 70% of our AK-47 ammo. We could possibly have done with having more, but it's not important. So what we want here is to pull out the Dural... No, we don't want that. With the Duralium case. Because with this, we can find yet more Magnum ammo. Not very useful for Claire, but it is useful for Chris. So we'll put that down. So you can see we've now got 3 full heals. We're going to take another 2. The reason we're taking all the healing here is because we're about to face what can be a run killer if you're not prepared. It's better to be over-prepared than under. So they take about 10% of the AK-47. Yeah, that time it took less. Now, this part of Claire is actually quite nervous. It's the one area where we could be in serious trouble of a run being killed by an instant kill. Right, that's it. That's the last enemy we have to shoot as Claire. So, we have the security manual. This is where we have one of the world's most annoying puzzles. We need to get that card from out of there, and to do it, we have to smash the item in here. So what you have to do is kind of like trick it into smashing. Run down quickly, get into the middle, access your menu, and then run. For whatever reason, she doesn't have all the time in the world. Run against it, and be quick. And you hear that click, it means you're safe. That is literally what you have to do. If you don't do that, it's an instant kill. You are dead. So you must exercise maximum caution. Feel free to pause your run for that point. We got the key card, so now we use it. But we're not out of the woods as Claire yet. The door's locked behind her. This is where Steve turns into an enemy. Get hit, instantly heal. Don't even think about trying to tank more than one blow. Just tank a hit, heal. Don't even think about it. Then you can skip the scene. That's it. That's literally what you have to do as Claire there. Don't even try to fight. Now as Chris, we have a boss. Don't go close to her. If she's close to you, she can grab you and kill you in one. Instead, use the pistol, run away, keep an eye on the blood patterns, because that's where the fire is going to form. And that's it, she's down. She goes down straight away, without a single trouble. People have used a Magnum on her, she takes 6 shots. Don't waste your ammo. Use the pistol. And because we've already got the jewels earlier in this run through, we can simply go straight up the stairs and use the 3 jewels on this painting. And that gets us access. But of course, Alexia's not going to be finished off like that, is she? She's not going out like that. That's not Alexia's style. So now we come here. There are zombies waiting for us. However, the zombies here respawn. So instead, go through this door. And now what we want to do is go down the elevator here. Use this there. that gets us the 4th of those wings. We need those. We need all 4 of them. Reload the ammo while we got the chance. Now, while we're here, we may as well get the final piece of the puzzle we need. So all we do is check by spinning this around like that, hit the button, and that gets us the key. While we have the chance as well, we're going to go and get the extra magnum shots as Chris. We're now going to switch our weapons around. So we've got the ammo for the pistol for absolutely no reason, because we're going to store the pistol ammo. We're going to do that for one very simple reason. We're taking the explosive bow gun. We're also going to store the knife, because we no longer need that. So there we go, we've now got the magnum ammo. The magnum is going to be the weapon we use from this point forward. There's no point in us not using the magnum. It'll allow us to hose through quite a few enemies quickly. So we're going to go back to the hallway we were just in. But what we're going to do instead is we're going to fight our way through. Head into this office here, and all we have to do is look in the drawer, and that gets us the biohazard key. We want that because there's one final thing we have to do downstairs. And the biohazard key allows us to do it. We need the jewels from the tiger statue. But we can't get those as they are because there happens to be a power supply. And that therefore means the statue will always turn when we pull one of the jewels. So what we're going to do is go back to the safe room that has the power switch, and we're going to deactivate it. So we go over here, and all we need to do is hit the switch, turn it off. But as you can see, because there's no power, we can't get through that door now. So we have to go the long way round. That's why you need the biohazard key. Without the biohazard key, you can't do it. As we've already taken the hunters out, there's no danger in this hallway. It's just an empty corridor. And the same will prove true in here. We'll just go in through this door one more time. And we're looking to go through the little curtained off area, which will get us access to the tiger statue. All we do from here is grab both of these. And on we go to the next part. Up the stairs. And get ambushed by zombies because I wasn't watching what I was doing. As you can see, just killed 2 of them in one shot. One shot left. Okay, and do a manual reload because the reloading with the 6-shooter takes absolutely bloody ages. He was aiming at an enemy, but not that one, so we'll go through here. And it depends on which room this is. This room is the blue room, so we use the blue gem. And that opens up the way to use the music box. Go into this room through the side door. Oh, be quiet. Yep, recycled puzzle from the start of the game. Bit of a Capcom staple, that, to be honest. But there we go. We now have the music box disc. Go back through here. And up the ladder we go. And you hear the heart beating, and guess what? There's nothing to be afraid of. There's literally nothing here. Now, in a reverse of the situation with Claire, where we had to pull the wings out, here we have to attach them. That's right. It's the reversal approach that you get from quite a few games of this era, where there's a lot of mirroring of puzzles and solutions. Just do a final check of our loadout. We've got everything we need. So now we're heading off this way again. To take us towards the end of the game. And as I say, this is not a speed run. I've not played it with all the speed run tactics. This is just me beating the game as normal, or at least trying to. We're not there yet. Run past all the zombies. They can't do anything. They can't hurt us. Ignore them. They don't matter. What we now do is very quickly go here, and we use the made version of the butterfly. And yes, there are zombies. Just take care of them. Get rid of them. Saves you any issues. The zombies that you see at the base down here in a moment, you can't do anything about. You can't even interact with them. So now we're being asked to put a password in. So the security code is, as per the game's box art, it is Code Veronica. That's right. It's a meta reference. The final code is Veronica.
This facility will detonate in 5 minutes.
So there's the classic 5 minutes clock warning. We are ready to go. Let's get out of here as fast as we can then. It's down the stairs. Love the lighting we've got here. This is really good lighting. And then here we go. So Claire gets attacked. All you want to do, quickly fire a shot. Any shot will do. I use the Magnum, you can use the pistol, doesn't matter. Now we're getting to the next part of the actual real phase of the boss. Simply as Chris, equip the bow gun and go berserk. Simple as that. That's how you beat the first form. Use the explosive bow gun. It absolutely shreds her. Now, this is the only way to beat this form. It's the most infuriating part of the game for most people. The aiming with the linear launcher. What you have to do is kind of like do almost like deflection targeting. You have to try and make it so that she flies into it. I often find it's incredibly unreliable. It's extremely annoying. And she also moves really quickly as well. Just got to be patient. Now she seems to always move out of the way. I hate this boss. It's a really annoying mechanic because the first person perspective controls just weren't there. Well, there you go. We managed to get a shot off. We managed to hit her. Now we skip all of the cutscenes. Everything. We're skipping the ending. We're skipping the credits. We're skipping all of it. We're going to skip over all of it. If you want to get the A or S rank, this is how you got to do it. You got to forgo all content of the game. All these cutscenes that I'm not even showing you here, people. But this scene, you can't skip.
Chris, where are you?
Chris! Hey, you know that I always keep my promises.
And they're all dead, but there's no way the plane would have survived that. No way.
Chris, promise me. Please promise that you won't leave me alone again.
I'm sorry, Claire, but it's not over yet. There's still something we've got to do.
You mean...
Yeah, it's payback time. We've got to destroy Umbrella. Now, let's finish this once and for all.
And that is the ending. So there we go. Biohazard Code Veronica. And again, I don't believe we can skip this. We can't skip the ending credits. So you can skip all the main part of the ending, but you can't hear it. Now, for those of you who are wondering about the weird aliasing effects here, this is because I am actually using an emulated version of this game. That's the reason why it's looking like that with the coding. That's the danger of emulation, people. It doesn't always come off the way it is. So I have wanted to get a Region 3 Dreamcast to play this properly on OG hardware, but I have not been able to secure one, so for now, I'm stuck with this way. So we can listen to this rather dramatic ending credits scene we have here. Because again, we can't skip it. I'm trying all the buttons, it's not working. So the A rank is one of the harder challenges in Code Veronica, unless you, 1, abuse the infinite herb. That makes it far easier. It makes it a lot simpler. Also, as I said before, with zombies, when they're about to grab you, spam every button you can, and you might push them off with no damage. And third, practice with the knife, because you can save a lot of ammo by shredding through zombies and even the occasional bandersnatch or hunter using the knife. You can see we finished with nearly 30 shots in the explosive bowgun, which I could have used at earlier points to clear out a couple of enemies quickly. But the fact of the matter is, we did enough. We had enough shots in the Magnum. We didn't even use the shotgun. We didn't need it. I'd say the shotgun is the most disappointing gun in this game. It's so not fun to use. So for me, use it purely as a way to navigate in Rockfort Island. And if you get desperate for any reason on ammo, use the shotgun. So now we're getting to see some of these cutscenes that we never got to watch live because I can't skip this sequence. Yeah, see, there's Chris free climbing his way into Rockfort Island.
There was a friendly but naive king who wed a very nasty queen. The king was loved, but the queen was feared.
Yes, our queen was feared. Considering what she turned into at the end of the game, I'm not surprised. That gigantic anthill mutation nasty beast. I say, a lot of people have trouble with the form of Alexia before the final part with the linear launcher. I say it every time, use the explosive bowgun. It tears her to pieces. For whatever reason, she's weak to it. There's mutated Steve, who we ran away from, basically. There was no reason to fight him. And again, support from Sega, because Sega actually co-produced this game with Capcom. They invested heavily in it on the Dreamcast, and it was one of the bigger games for the Dreamcast. One of the best games for it. Many things about it have not aged well, but I think personally it's one of the better Resident Evils. And it's the Resident Evil I want remade the most. I want a true remake of Code Veronica. I don't count Revelations 2, despite what some people say. I don't count it. For me, I want the OG and I want it done properly. Yeah, see, getting a lot more glitches now in the on-code here. Oh, yes. So I could have recorded this on a PS2, I could have recorded it on the PS3, I could have recorded it on the Xbox 360. I wanted to do the OG Dreamcast version. But as I say, all the tips I showed you, including the Infinite Herb, work on the PS2, PS3, PS4 and Xbox 360 and GameCube versions. All of these things work. Yep, producer Shinji Mikami, the legend. Now here's hoping it's actually remembered my ranking. Yeah, presented by Capcom. Excellent. Perfect. So you hear that piano music? It means you've got a high rank. Press a button. And as you can see, rank S. Total time, 3 hours, 10 minutes, 52 seconds. With my guide, you have an hour and 18 minutes to explore, kill enemies, and read files, even watch scenes. You could probably just about make it watching the cutscenes with that time rank there. So, there it is. Hopefully, this has been some use to you all. We've now got some extra things. The first one there is a rocket launcher. We've unlocked the rocket launcher, so that's fantastic. So we've actually got the extra weapon available for 3. So with that in mind, I want to say thank you all for checking out this playthrough of Biohazard Code Veronica Kanzenban, or Resident Evil Code Veronica X for all of us who are west of the Pacific Islands. Now, this has been I wanted to do for years, so I hope you've all really enjoyed this. And who knows, I might do some playthrough guides for some of the older games in the future as well. So until then, goodbye.